here's Brody Brazil.
Okay, this headline caught my eye the other day, so I wanted to dig deeper, do some research, and eventually put together this video for you so we could discuss it. Home runs and climate change. You're familiar with both, but is there really a connection between these two? Probably to a small degree, but maybe not exactly the way it's spelled out here. So let me explain. According to a Dartmouth College scientific study, this has been published, they're saying that we see about 50 more homers every big league season because of global warming. And just to put it into perspective, well, what does 50 mean? 50 more or 50 less? Last season in Major League Baseball, we saw 5,215 homers. And a couple years before that, we saw more than 6,000 home runs. So plus or minus 50 when it relates to 5,000, it's a small dent. Like, it's a small piece of the pie, but by no means are we talking about drastic variances here in home run totals that also can be attributed to the weather being a little bit warmer. Now, not to discredit this study, Justin Mankin here, who was the co-author of this study by Dartmouth College, he's a climate scientist there. He says, quote, global warming is juicing home runs in Major League Baseball. Now, they analyzed 100,000 baseball games, big league games. They also went over, I think, like 200,000 plus baseballs put in play. So they're not just basing this on one season or one game or one team. They're really taking a big scale approach here. Obviously, this is hard to do. All that weather data, all that baseball data, to put it all together, try and make sense of this. And yeah, the numbers probably add up that there might be a certain increase over the years as summers in America get hotter. So how is this justified? In case you're wondering, well, like, how are they saying these two things are related? Simple as this. Air heats up, like a little bit, just a little bit hotter than normal. Molecules move faster, just a little bit more than normal, progressively. Air becomes less dense as these molecules move faster. And because the air is less dense, there's less drag on the baseballs. Baseballs travel farther, and baseballs that were going to be hit as flyouts turn into going over the fence. They become home runs. So the extra 6 inches, 8 inches, 6 feet, 8 feet, whatever it is, all of this over time is happening because air's hotter, molecules moving faster, air becoming less dense, less drag as it on the baseball as it flies. So that's how they justify all of this. And they're saying to the tune of home runs going up 1% for every 1 degree Fahrenheit that air temperature increases. Let me say that again. Every Fahrenheit degree that goes up, the amount of home runs per season goes up 1%. 1-to-1 ratio, and obviously, to go up a degree, on average, like that's a pretty big deal. I guess we could also say that maybe this equates to just cold weather games in the beginning of the season versus hot weather games in July or August, but we're looking at the progression of summer after summer across the continental United States. But there's also other factors too. And again, to totally go at this from, a figuring it out and really putting your finger on it, like home runs by baseball season, they vary plus or minus 1,000 anyway. And there are other factors like the composition of the baseball, the strength of hitters over the years, the velocity pitchers throw at is becoming greater and greater. We see more guys hitting 95 and 100 every single season now. Plus, field dimensions have changed. Different teams are catering to different situations, bringing the fences in, pushing them back out. So obviously, all of that is at play too. I would say ball composition is right up there with the top of them. To the criticisms that the baseball has changed over the years, I think there might be something to it. Now, aside from this recent study, like baseball traditionalists have always felt that the ball carries better in the middle of the season when hitters are more, tuned up, but also when the weather's warm. The ball carries better in the summer months, like even on a hot night. It just flies better. There's really never been a debate about that. Phillies president Dave Dombrowski recently said this, quote, "We always felt that way for years. When it's warmer, the ball travels travels more, and they have now scientific evidence to back that up. So he's seeing it from the quite simple approach like, yeah, great work, guys, but we've always kind of had this idea. Now you're backing it up. Now you're also saying that with the evolution of climate change, like maybe this affects baseball in the long term. So here is the outlook across like the next 30 years, basically, based on current trends. Now, there's a couple different models. We don't know the escalation of global warming, hopefully a little bit the reversal of global warming, but based on current trends, which are actually not the worst case models anymore, so be careful about that, about 155 warming-aided home runs more per season by 2050, and 255 extra dingers per season by 2100. Man, I would love to see that baseball season. I don't know if I'm going to make it. But it kind of gives you an idea that, okay, this could have a serious impact. I'd also say that if we're a couple degrees hotter, like in St. Louis every August, they might need a dome on Busch Stadium anyway, and that might affect the way balls travel regardless. So home runs and climate change, yeah, I'm going to say there's something to this. Is there a lot to this? I mean, each one of these things, very relevant, very traceable, very tangible. Like they're both real things. Put together, connected, hard to tell. Let me know what you think in the comments section below. Thumbs up on this video if you liked it, and don't forget, subscribe to the channel so that I can see you next time.